Hey guys, so it feels like I've been gone forever, even though I basically only skipped 1 week. So I was like, "Ugh, I don't feel like doing a video today. I don't have anything to talk about, but I know that if I skip another week, then I'll really have broken my chain. And being sort of a recovering perfectionist, it's important to just show up, right? So, I have an idea for what I want this video to talk about, but then I also have a prelude topic that I'd also like to talk about. So we'll see if I even get to the second one. But if not, it's always another video, right? Gotta save up that content. um, so it feels like there's yet another wave of this feeling of overwhelm in the online world. I'm not talking about green beauty, I'm just talking about social media and bloggers and vloggers and YouTubers and whatnot. You see, oh, not mirrored. Mimi's tired too. So anyways, I don't know if you guys watched, if any of you follow Sam at Home. I think her name on YouTube might be Sam at Home 518. She's a mutual friend of not a mutual friend. We have a mutual friend, Mercedes from L'amour et la musique. I think that those two have been following each other for a long time, and they've sort of got one of these online friendships, just like Mercedes and I do. And so Mercedes had recommended her channel to me quite a while back, and I think I've watched a couple of her videos. But then on our I'm gonna be umming, I think, a lot today. I'm like all nervous. It's like the first time again. On our Facebook group, which if you're not part of, I do highly hope that you will look for us on Facebook. We're called Vert Nouveau. So vert, like new green, basically in French, VERTNOUVEAU. Look for us, come join our group. So there was a discussion this morning where someone shared Sam at Home 518's video where she was basically saying goodbye to YouTube. I forgot to check how many followers she has, but I think she's got like a pretty established YouTube channel and brand going for her. And she was just like, she's just like, I feel overwhelmed. She's like, I just feel like it's just too much. And constantly trying to keep up with YouTube, constantly feeling like, she's having to create this content that she's not necessarily feeling super aligned with. And I know that Mercedes was having the same issue. I know other bloggers like Sarita Corin, she was having very much the same issue, where keeping up with her own blog as well as the not YouTube, Facebook group that she manages, or that she was managing right up until recently, just became too much. It's just like, it's not even just the workload, it's this energy that I think so many of us just can't ignore anymore. And I don't know if this is something that has to do with a lot of us that are like in this green beauty sphere. It seems, I mean, it might just be the fact that it's a community, it's an online community that I'm very familiar with and intimate with and know well, and so I'm seeing it here as opposed to whatever else I might follow, like the yoga community, or like, I don't even know, like actually skincare is really like my main community online. Sorry, really need my tea today. But there is just this collective energy and this collective feeling that like of overwhelm and exhaustion. And yeah, there's a lot of people just kind of stepping back and just trying to reevaluate, like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? People are getting extremely overwhelmed with feeling like every post is promoting something. Every post is really just this thinly veiled advertisement where brands that a lot of bloggers were feeling really, really connected with all of a sudden lose this appeal. And I do recommend, if I get around to it, I will leave a link as well to a blog post that Sarita from the Hub of Clean Living wrote just recently, sort of about like what we're losing out when green beauty kind of goes big, and then using The Honest Company as like the very ironic story or like example of what can go horribly wrong. Basically not being honest, not being transparent, saying you're one thing when you're not, and that's really unappealing to the green beauty consumer, and it's frankly just shitty. And that so many of us are just not feeling aligned. Now I'm in a really weird position where I feel like I'm both a content creator as like just like a YouTuber or just like an Instagrammer, without always, like I'm not always, or even very often, especially on YouTube, like talking about my brand. Like you guys know, like I'm not just like a walking advertisement. I don't enjoy just sitting around and like sell. I'm just not about that. And I don't need to be that way because of the way that I've made my business, and that's just all very conscious decisions, right? But I guess a lot of brands are desperate to make things work, as most companies are, because it's expensive running a company depending on what kind of business model you have. And so they really need these influencers to work for them. And I mean, influencers, like whenever I started, I was just floored by like, and I hope I don't sound totally just like skeevy here, but like I was floored by how much advertisement I could get for free just by like sending product to someone, and like I couldn't believe like what I would get back, for nothing. But it's really not for nothing. I mean, like I have, because I love it, but like I have created so many amazing relationships and friendships with bloggers who I genuinely want to work with. And I don't always send stuff for free either. Like I have plenty of bloggers that have worked with me who buy stuff, and there's never any pressure like one way or another to do anything for the other. It's all just because we respect and want to, sorry, my cat is distracting me. We respect and we want to help one another out, and we want to encourage each other's creative work. Because I as a, you guys may know that I used to be a ghostwriter and a copywriter, and I've managed blogs, and I had a blog as like sort of like one of my main creative outlets before starting my business. And I know how much work it is. It's a lot, and it's a lot to put yourself out on YouTube. And then that's another point, is that just the amount of energy that goes into creating a video is incredible. Like I feel myself becoming like depleted with energy like as I'm talking right now. It might be because it's really hot in here too, and I don't really have a plan about what I'm talking about. So it's sort of like, I'm just like, it's just like giving and giving and giving. You're just kind of going, "Urgh." And you can hit your stride at one point, and then you kind of get this momentum, but it's really hard to replenish. And I think that that's something that a lot of people are lacking right now, is figuring out how to replenish themselves. Once you're just kind of like hitting the bottom of your barrel, you're giving content, you're giving content. It's exhausting preparing for a video, whether you like prepare with notes or not. Just getting into that headspace, just committing to doing it, just putting aside that afternoon, going through the editing process if you do that, like making your graphics, making your this, making your that. And if you don't have a team, like it is a lot of work. And then, managing the comments, as much as we love comments, and that's really like what, sort of feeds a content creator. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And so I'm not surprised that so many YouTubers are just getting like feeling depleted. And I'm wondering if right now, if in green beauty, like there really is this shift, which by the way is what me and Mercedes, not Instagram group, Facebook group is really all about. It's discussing this paradigm shift in green beauty and just these overarching themes and yeah, it's really just an energy. I just keep coming back to that word, which is just interesting because I'll go into my own story and kind of like where I'm at right now in a second. But too many tangents, Jess. But yeah, it really is just I guess in green beauty, it's like the content creators have hit a wall because with more and more brands, there's more and more demands. That wasn't meant to rhyme. More and more demands means, more and more pressure, which means people are going to start enjoying putting out this content for free, which are usually just creative passion projects and not someone's serious job. And it is exhausting. It's not like people, sometimes people are like, oh, but they get sent stuff for free all the time. Okay, if your basement is filled with products and you're getting dozens of emails every day with companies demanding, what's your opinion? What do you think about this product? When are you going to post about this? And not wanting to actually pay you, or even if they want to pay you, internally you don't even know whether or not you should be accepting money for what you do, and how to be transparent about that if you do decide that you do want to get compensated, which I think content creators should be. I don't think necessarily paid posts is the best way to do it, but definitely for this amount of work and just this amount of energy expenditure, people need to be compensated for it. And and we're just sort of like, we're hitting right now just like the max. We're hitting the, what's the word, ceiling? No, I'm drinking an Ayurvedic blend for Pitta right now. I am when you're like in Pitta imbalance, if you know your dosha, which I suggest that you look into, because it's just so apt, like when you know which one you are, or where, or like which blend of doshas you are. This is an Ayurvedic medicine, by the way. You really can see when you sort of like get unbalanced and you go off into like sort of your dark spaces of your dosha and what you need. And lately, so I'll just talk about my little energy thing that's going on with me lately. Okay, so like the past year since I've been living here, I've been feeling really, really off. Like I am super tired all the time. I mean, it might just be like a thyroid thing, which I don't think it is because I've been tested, but it sort of feels like that. It's just like this heavy tiredness. And I've been going to see different modalities of healing and therapy, and the consensus is basically that like nothing's wrong with me. I have a ton of energy. It's just unbalanced, and I have a certain like weak spot kind of in my back. If I don't know if you guys remember me complaining about my back all winter long. It's like it has all of these meanings attached to it in Chinese traditional medicine and also in Ayurveda. And then I'm seeing an osteopath now, and she's like getting it all like my stuff to like work again, and it's actually helping a lot. And then I had a tongue reading with a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, which I really suggest that you look into if you find someone who's really good at doing it. It's very eye-opening, and it's like kind of creepy how much someone can glean about your life, about your like just based on your tongue. So, with me, it's kind of like all systems are go, you're really good, but your energy is off, and it's kind of like this weird existential crisis, basically. So yeah, so like it's, for me, I've been on this, okay, like what can I do to restore my own energy? And I've noticed that being on YouTube now a lot more, like as in like I started being on YouTube in the winter, I guess, and I've been taking my social media like way more seriously, i.e. like just being addicted to my phone and just like being checking and like posting stuff and responding and just like always trying to like be on and like giving of energy, that I've, you know, reached a point where I'm just like, I can't, like I'm gonna get really sick or something. I feel like I've just, and like I've had my my health practitioners tell me this too, it's like I've just caught something at the right time. Like, I think it's really good if you're very attuned to your body and what good feels like for you when you're like, ooh, something's off. It's often, you know, sort of a hormonal thing, it's an energy thing, but these things are so nuanced. Like, I wonder how much hormones and energy are really like the same things. And I'd like to sort of learn more about that, if there is a connection. And I don't know a lot about traditional Chinese medicine. I don't know a lot about Ayurveda. Like, I have a very basic sort of understanding of it, but I'm very curious about it. And more so as I've been just, as it's been like making more sense to me, like just in my life and like how I'm feeling. So yeah, like I just feel like with everyone online just giving, and I'll just talk about for Green Beauty, like we're giving so much, and it's really a space where everyone tries to stay so authentic, but then there's just so many nuanced things, you know, that don't feel so good. Like, should I get paid for this? Like, do I need to review this brand? Like, how much money am I spending on products? What do I really need? And it's just like getting so far away from like what feels like the true essence of what this space should be about, which really it should be about minimalism. It should be about the environment. It should be about you know, supporting and promoting small, I think maybe I'm biased here, but promoting small independent companies, you know, and you know, it's funny, definitely read that article about from Sarita Koren, because you know, it's like when a company makes it, i.e. gets bought out by a larger company, like what happened with True Botanicals just recently and Unilever, it's sort of like, is that good? Like, is it good if all these brands are just available in more and more stores? Like, is that the goal? So this is a bit of a segue into what I actually wanted to talk about, which was the direct-to-consumer model. But does this even work together? I don't even know. But you know, maybe it does, because the smaller a brand is when they are direct to consumer, the more that we are giving of ourselves. And like I was kind of coaching Jen from Mrs. Jen Rogers through some stuff, because she took my online course called 21 Days, and it's very intensely psychological, and she needed just some coaching through some parts. And you know, she was sort of feeling like a dissonance between like her real life and then her online life, and whether or not, you know, that would makes her a hypocrite. But you know, I think that one way in preserving one's energy is by keeping these things distinct. Like, as open, as authentic, and as real as you see me right now, like, you're not gonna know everything about my life. Like, nor should you want to know everything about my life, and nor should I feel the need to give you that, because that's only privy to a few people, and maybe too few people, but you know, and so that's a very fine balance. If you're a direct-to-consumer business like my own, like I can't piggyback on a retailer and their energy and their marketing and and whatever, like I have to give 100% of my own, you know, and hope sometimes too that other influencers in whatever capacity and way that they want to share some of my information, that they do that, then that's amazing. But you know, it's finding a way of replenishing, and I think that staying completely authentic and completely real is a good way of feeling, of getting energy, like of gaining momentum and energy to create stuff. But it's also a good way to deplete yourself, in the sense that you may start feeling like you're oversharing, you may start feeling like you're over giving. So, you know, setting up healthy boundaries is really essential, and figuring out stuff like your dosha and what kind of energetic type you are is a good way to know, like, okay, would going for a run or doing yin yoga be more beneficial for me, you know? Would having a coffee or a nap be more beneficial for me? So sometimes it's not what your nature, when you're in that like stressed out mode, would like kind of would be like your first response to what to do. But yeah, sometimes it's actually the opposite. So like for me, like I would want to like have a coffee and like go do stuff, when like really, because I am like that fiery Pitta kind of crazy pants sometimes, like I need to actually just like calm down, like have the calming tea, take a nap, just stop. But it's hard because it's like going against your nature, but then that's exactly what replenishes you. So yeah, I think that this social media exhaustion and Schadenfreude is really interesting to note, that I think a lot of us are feeling it right now. I know that for me, it's been affecting my life too much, even though I don't have, you know, 10,000, 20,000 followers. I just hit 3,000 followers on Instagram today, and I'm like, yay! Because I've been on Instagram for like I was an early adopter. I've been on it for like 5 or 6 years, or yeah, about that. So I've been on it, yeah, like 2010. Oh, it's 2017. Oh boy. Yeah, like 7 years. And I was never obsessed about like hitting those numbers, but I am pretty obsessed with like checking it, keeping up with it, responding to everyone, being engaged, doing my little Instagram stories, like all of that stuff, you know, and like getting that dopamine hit of the response, the comment, the like, the this, the new follower, the whatever. It feels really good in the moment, but it's kind of like a hit of crack or something, where it's like, or I don't even know, but like, you know, where you sort of get that like burst of energy, or like that burst of like feeling good, but then there's a crash. And I think that we forget that when it's just like you're on social media and you're checking your phone, and it's like hit, and you're like constantly up, you're constantly feeling good, you're constantly feeling good. Like you can literally keep that up for months, but then all of a sudden your neck is all fucked up because you're like this all the time. Like my osteopath said that she thinks that people are going to evolve to have big hunchbacks, because so many problems that she sees with like the under 50 crowd is all like neck, and that can affect you in so many different ways. It could be headaches, it could be like jaw stress, because everything is connected, right? Like for me it's like lower back pain, but it's like it's super crazy like how much it can affect you. And that's just physically, and then you have to think, you know, emotionally what it's doing to us, and mentally, and you know, with our relationships and everything. And it's just like, is it worth it, you know? Like on my you know, on my deathbed, like how many likes am I gonna get from that? None. So yeah, I don't know, it's just lately I've been feeling like I'm going through this like little existential crisis, where I'm just like, what does it all mean? What does it matter? And I feel like personally I'm a little bit trapped into it, because I do have a brand. I am an online only brand, so I do need to create content. I do need to be useful. My bangs just got really long. I do need to be like useful to you guys sometimes. I hope this video is useful because it is just a big ramble. It was not even what I was supposed to talk about. You know, I'm stuck because I'm a brand and I kind of got to keep up with the content, but it's like, how am I going to manage? How do I balance like always being there for all of my customers, but then being there for myself and being there for my family, you know? So it's pretty tired. It is pretty tired. But it's tough, and I don't know what the answer is, you know? It really is about balance, but what the hell does that even mean? Like, what does balance mean? And so yesterday I was at yoga. I was in a restorative class. I'm obsessed with yin and restorative yoga right now. It's like everything to me. And the yoga teacher was like, I don't know why you guys chose to come to a restorative class this evening, but you know, if it's because you're feeling overwhelmed, if it's stress, you basically have 3 choices. You can leave the source of the stress, which isn't always possible. You can change your perception of the source of the stress, which could be possible here. Or you can take really good care of yourself. You can do the yoga, you can eat better, you can do your rituals that feel really good, do face massage, and just make yourself more resilient to stressful situations. So I think I'm going to take a little of all 3, where I'm going to set boundaries for my online presence and just maybe not what I share, because I don't feel like I necessarily overshare on Instagram being my major communication vessel these days, but just maybe how much I check it. And so yeah, so if I'm a little slow responding to you, if we are you know, in communication, then that would be why for me right now, especially since this June I have decided to really take this energy shift more seriously. So I did my first solo trip away from my son, away from my husband. Just last week I went to Toronto for a few days to hang out with my best friend and go to a beauty event where I scored this awesome lipstick. I'll show you guys in like a haul video or whatever at some point when I decide to do that. And I am going on a shamanic or shamanana, whatever, retreat in 10 days in 9 days. So that's going to be like 5 days where I don't think I'm going to be on social media at all. Yeah, so it's like a wellness yoga, shamanism retreat in the forest with 7 other women. It's gonna be awesome. And it's really, I think, like those are the things that we need to do to just sort of like restore our souls. Like, you know, I don't know what I'm looking for in something like this. I don't know what I'm looking for with the Reiki thing I just signed up for. I'm like gonna become a Reiki master, you guys. This was like a really weird decision that I made. Because I've just been so drawn to energy lately. I've always been sort of like, oh, it's just a bunch of woo, but like, no, I can't deny the power that it's been having over me lately, and just these weird little like coincidences and little things and just little signs and stuff that just keep freaking happening. And I think I just need to be more awake and present to really be like receiving those gifts. But really, and so yeah, I'm just bear with me while I and many others seem to be trying to find this balance between giving on social media, giving on YouTube, and living life. I don't know, I developed a bizarre accent right at the end of my video. It's clearly time to stop now. So that was my video, not about direct-to-consumer model businesses. So I guess that'll just be next time. All right, keep it real. Bye-bye.